Hey guys, I'm Kristen. This is my AuthorTube channel, and today we're talking about what you need to know about editors. Let's do this. Okay, here's the thing about editing. It's really hard to know when you need one. I usually err on the side of doing a developmental edit before I get too far into my plot, just because I want to make sure to plug any holes that may exist. And a developmental edit is the best way that I know how to do that. I have someone who's a professional take a look at my map. I take a look at maybe the first 2 or 3 chapters, take a look at my character structures, and say, yes, this works. Or you might want to think about this, or there's some holes, what about this, and there's some motivation problems. There's a million things that can go wrong, but it's so helpful. But that's really the only kind of edit that I do before I've put some serious time into my book. I write a lot. I do a lot of research before even consulting with an editor, because I need to know what's selling. I need to know what kind of things are entering the marketplace. I need to know the do's and don'ts for my genre, and that's up to me. That's something that an editor can't really and shouldn't have to tell you. That's something that as an author, we should be, and you should be, and I should be kind of finding out on our own and working through on our own. But that being said, once you've done the time and once you've put in the hours, there's a lot of different types of editing that can really help refine your book, which is great for both traditional publishing and for indie publishing. I read this quote by Malcolm Gladwell. He said, "You have to put 10,000 hours into something before you can truly learn a craft." So I think that's my main advice, is learn your craft and then jump to kind of, what can an editor do? What kind of editor do I need? Do I need an editor? Maybe my beta readers can do this, which I love beta readers. I have beta readers. I've been a beta reader. But I don't think that a beta reader or a group of them can take the place of an editor, really. So anyway, just something to consider, but definitely put in your 10,000 hours. In fact, I should just go and start writing now, because I'm nowhere near 10,000 hours. But anyway, so that's kind of a precursor. And you need to know that before you go into it and before you are looking for editors, because they're going to expect you to kind of know all those things that we already talked about. That being said, there's a whole bunch of different kind of editors. The first kind is content editing. And what this is it's helping, what's the best way to put this, with the structure and with the style of your writing, of your book. A content edit looks at the timeline. It says, this doesn't make sense here, let's pull this in here. It looks at your motivations of your characters, and it's really comprehensive. A copy edit or a line edit is grammar, punctuation, making sure that there aren't any spelling errors in your work. I'm trying to think. A manuscript. I did do research and I studied this in college, so I'm just trying to recall what I wanted to talk about. But a manuscript edit is a broad assessment. So they read the book, they give you kind of a broad, this works, here are the things that I didn't like. It's kind of like a book review almost. And then I guess technically you could do a proofreading edit, which is, it's just for the spelling errors. So it's more than a line or a content edit that has more to do with the grammar. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways that you can go with editors. But I think that really the thing to take away from this, and the $1 million question, is what kind do you need and when do you need it? And after you've put a lot of time into your book, that's when the content, the copy, the proofreading, the manuscript edits come into play and are really helpful. But I do recommend developmental edits if you get stuck, because it's okay to get stuck. We all get stuck, but someone on the outside with a fresh perspective, with the proper credentials, someone who knows the industry, who's worked with published authors before, who has an education or certifications. You don't want just anybody to be doing a developmental edit. You need to trust them and know that they're actually a professional. But someone like that can really help unstick you. And yeah, they're super helpful. And these are the type of edits that I think we all need to be aware of. And I just wanted to kind of walk through them and tell you what you needed to know about editors, because there's a bunch of different types. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video.